this case. Reports already out that he's quote unquote Jerry Jones' friend, right? But neither here nor there. Free my jigger Zeke. You got to free him, man. The news and all this information out there just foulest, man. It's false. The lady Tiffany, whatever her last name is, Thompson, I believe. Somebody needs to find the lady that she got in fight with the previous night before, and we need to figure out things of that nature, right? This guy needs to be out there on the field. I want to see him week 1, although I predicted that he will play week 1 because this thing is going to drag out. They said about 3,000 pages are going to be out there in the mist, but this case and this scenario is so one-sided, right? There's so much convoluted information out there. There's not enough solid information out there for Ezekiel appeal. It's right now, in my opinion. This is from my guy, Dallas Cowboys Football News. Go check out his channel. Go follow his page. He put this out here. Zeke appeal right now, in my opinion, is a waste. I don't think that he did anything, and the court has to accept this. He ran away because I can't read that fast, right? But my whole thoughts on this, man. We all know, man, that this kid is no angel, right? You know, he got some few transgressions, but we all been 21, we all been 22 before, right? Those who've been that age, we understand that we likes to party till the sunlight come back up, and that's just the scenario from there. But for this woman to come out publicly, or well, not publicly, but the Texas was exposed that she's trying to blackmail this brother. It's just not that great.
Dallas Cowboy Football News.
Salute, man. Come on in, man. What's going on, brother?
How you been, Law Nation?
Man, I've been good, man. How long you been following the channel, man? Well, tell me about it, man.
I came across Law Nation by doing the highlight reels and put it in that hard work, that hard grind. Subscribe. I think you had like 20 subscribers, and I was commenting on there, and we gave each other shout outs and stuff, and I was like, why don't this guy have more subscribers? And then you got there quick, man. I was so happy for you. There was nothing. It was like the hard work you put in, just to pay for that and to put that up there, and for just the average viewer, the average fan, and show them, everything, if they didn't know what Tampa 2 was, Cover 2 was, Cover 3 was, and you showed the average fan what that stuff was, man, and that's hard work right there.
That's
Dedication.
Nothing but the truth, man. I appreciate it, man. A lot of sweat equity, as they call it out there in the field. And you're a diehard Cowboy fan too as well, and you put great content out there too as well. I don't know why people not gravitating and levitating towards your channel too as well. They need to get out there and watch the Dallas Cowboys Football News, But I appreciate you, man.
What's on your mind? Problem. And I've been slacking on my video content. I have I got a new full-time job, and there's promotion coming up, and I can't let that promotion down. So I need to get, when the season starts, I will make a full commitment to get back and express my opinions on what I think about the Dallas Cowboy Football News.
No doubt, man.
And the nature of all that.
Hey, the season right around the corner, man. So, hey, get that promotion, get the family, build the family up. You got to do that, Those are the intangibles of life,
Definitely. But the reason why I called in is for the Zeke appeal, and in my opinion, Law, I think this is a waste of time on both sides. I really don't think they're going to hold up on this. Like you said, they have to find that girl that beat up Tiffany Thompson and put her in that stand. And then whenever we found out that they're going to ban Tiffany Thompson from the appeals hearing, it was pretty common. The NFL usually does that for other victims. But specifically in this case with Zeke, it was very, very heart-crushing, because, any lawyer would go up there and pound her on her credibility, but the NFL saved her from that. I actually was in law enforcement for 3 years, and I've seen victims go up there and get pounded by lawyers, and the guy, you read the report, you're like, there's no way he did this. This makes no sense. And being up there and watching that stuff, I was like, man, that lawyer is tearing her up. So I've seen firsthand how that stuff works. But the other problem I have is if they take this to court, the court has to accept it. And if the court don't accept it, then Zeke, that he still has to serve those 6 games. But if the court accepts it, he's all in for week 1.
Yeah, so many people talking about the Article 46 that the NFL players then gave way to for the commissioner to be the judge, jury, and the executioner. But there's cases out there for wrongful lawsuit, like wrongful firemen and all that stuff. But you talking about lost wages, right? Because this will fall under the category if if you have a lawyer. Anybody who's out there that's a lawyer, have lawyer background, Zeke can file for 2 things that have not been shed to light. He can file for defamation of character for 1, right? Because they sully and denigrate his character, right? The second thing that he can apply for is lost wages, for that. I don't know whether or not the Article 46 covers lost wages, but he can file like the aspect for equal, what do you want to call it? Wrongful loss of wages. That's a case that he got cases for that, because all he have to do is point out and find out somebody else that have the equivalent of the same transgression that happened, and then he can run with it from there, because no court of law can hold up what the NFL is doing with this. And that's why Jerry Jones came out today or the other day and said, hey, the NFL is sticking their nose too far into some muddy water. So that's my view on things.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, that Article 46 is a bunch of BS. Because tell me, have you ever went to a courtroom with no judge in it? And if you're taking it to an appeal or a trial or something, you ever seen a courtroom with no jury in it? Like the Article 40, like he wasn't there for the Zeke's first hearing. He's not going to be here for this appeal. If the Article 46, if it states that he has to be there some form, way, or fashion, he can't just have, so to speak, the DA, quote unquote, that guy that's handling the hearing right now, to handle this. If the Article 46 says he's going to make the final decision on everything, he has to be present some form, way, or fashion. I've seen people go to court via webcam. Why can't he do that? You know what I mean? Via conference call. He has to be there some way, form, or fashion. It's not the Article 46 is a bunch of BS.
It is, man. 1,000 degrees. I agree. Let me grab this guy right here, Victor Baker, in the chat box. He says, Law Nation, do you think Zeke should serve the 6 games and then just come back like Brady and kick ass, What do you feel about that? Well, see, this is my thought before you say your thought, okay? Dallas Cowboys football news.
Right.
Here's my thought. If he says that, okay, I'm gonna lay down and I'm gonna take this 6 games, what that does to his name, that sully his name. He's now lamenting the fact that, or he's agreeing to the fact that he's a domestic violence abuser, So that's why I feel like he should fight this thing to the high courts, to the highest level. He should just go out there and say, hey, at the end of the day, I never put my hands on this lady. I have text messages. I have proof that she tried to get somebody to sully my name to as well, to lie. That's why she can't go on under any oath, because of those type of predated incidents. Because of this, I am innocent. I did not push or I did not beat this girl up. If so, I'm 232 pounds, pure muscle. If I'd have punched her or choked her or did anything to her, these visible markings would show even more, That's just what it is.
Exactly.
But what's your thoughts on that? Should he lay down or should he just stand up and fight?
No, I think with anybody, you have a right to fight for your name. I mean, the Ezekiel Elliott name, this is a big blow to them. I mean, they're a wealthy family. They came up pretty good. And so if you can defend your name any way possible, I think take the necessary steps to do that. And that's for anybody, especially if you know you're innocent, you fight to the finish for your innocence. And so, the outcome, good things reveal themselves in time. And so, and not to get religious, but God reveals all bad things. Mm-hmm. And so the truth will come out. And I think Zeke should get his name cleared in any form, way, or fashion. And this right here, I think, is a step in the right direction.
It is. And then for all the women's rights groups and things of that nature that's out there who will try to say, okay, this channel is bashing women. No, that's not the case, nor the scenario. what the women's rights group should do is say, hey, we should find Tiffany Thompson and let's get her on record. We know that we're trying to protect battered and beaten women, but we need to know without a shadow of a doubt that this lady is uttering the truth, because what this would do is this would just hurt the cases of those who are actually hurt down the line, and the NFL need to really think about this too as well, because now if you're talking about a mandatory 6-game suspension, and now you have a husband and a wife to get into a situation if they're an NFL player, should the wife now try to not report this information because it's going to take money out of the house? Or would the wife say, okay, this guy's beating me up. This is my husband or this is my significant other that's beating me up, and I still want to be in this relationship. So now I'm just going to take the beatings because I know if I come out, this guy will never be introduced back into the NFL. So it's a fickle process, on both sides.
Definitely, and then to touch on that point, I don't support domestic violence at all.
Right.
I think whenever someone is, because I've seen it firsthand, when someone's accused of domestic violence and there's charges filed, it gets hectic for that person, because if there's kids around, he actually gets charged with child abuse. There's restraining orders. He can't see his kids. He can't talk to his girlfriend. Maybe it was just like a mistake or something like that. But so and even law enforcement too, they did their due diligence on this too, and her credibility was false. And so I don't know, Law Nation. It's just one of those touchy things, and domestic violence is a touchy situation. Jason Witten said it himself. You know what I mean? He grew up around it, and he's like, it's a touchy situation, but I'm going to support Zeke on this because I believe him.
Right.
And Jason Witten is around Zeke 24/7, so he knows exactly who Zeke is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's just one of those things, man. It's a touchy subject to walk on, but I'm against it totally for the woman and the man, because men do have domestic violence on them. As a man, they just don't report it. And but who knows, Law Nation? But that's what I called in for, and that's what I want to touch on, brother.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you for calling in. Just plug where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Dallas Cowboy Football News. Just have some patience. The season's about to kick off. I will go over roster cuts and things of that nature. But it looks like one more thing, not to get off subject, but Jerry Jones said they're keeping 3 quarterbacks. So your boy Kellen Moore might be on the roster this year.
Well, that means Kellen Moore is going to be out there, and we're going to be missing the defensive guy. So. It is what it is. Jerry need to get his hands out of that, but it is what it is, man. I hate it, but it is what it is. Man, salute to you, man. Thank you for calling in. Anybody else need to call in at 515-739-1448. Thank you, man. Salute.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I love the call, man. So, yeah, man, if you look at the scenario all together collectively, the 6-game suspension is just a farce to me. It just shouldn't be something that the NFL is sticking their nose in. They should lean towards the law. Now, everybody going to say, well, he's from a college town, and the college people, quote unquote, the police were looking after him. Now, the dumb part about Zeke Elliott on this scenario was that the same transgressions happened in Florida, and they thought that it wasn't enough rules or enough evidence to rule against him, so they kind of let this thing pass. So you got 2 different states, 2 different cities having the same quote-unquote agreement that this is just not enough evidence, so they dropped the case. So what I'm saying is, with the Ezekiel Elliott situation, is that he's no angel, but come on, for crying out loud, 6 games is just too much, too many, and for the NFL to delay it for another day is kind of crazy. But hey, you guys need to free Zeke, man. All right, so we got the 832 in the house, man. State where you're from, and how long you been following the channel. 832.
This is
Hold. I got it on a party line. Hold on for me, man. I got too many on the line right now. Give me a few seconds. Let me change this up. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in, man.
Q&A session has started. All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves. Q&A session is over.
All right, so I'm gonna roll with the 512 first, okay? The 512, man. Salute, man. What's up, brother?
Yeah, I'm sort of curious as to why Zeke does not apply for an immediate federal bench trial. That would shut the NFL down in a heartbeat.
Well, what did you say again? State what you just said, what he should file for?
He needs to apply for an immediate federal bench trial where he goes in front of a federal judge. There's no jury in it or anything. The NFL would be asked to produce their case. Zeke would be able to produce his case, and the judge decides right then, right there.
Okay, now, what's the precedent of them or Zeke camp being able to file for a federal? Do they have to be pre-existing charges, or is it something that he can just say, hey?
Okay, well.
Yeah, educate me on this, brother.
A person has to be accused of wrongdoing. Okay, and that would qualify Zeke. Also, as far as precedent goes, Brady out of New England did the same thing with the Inflategate thing. And he got an immediate bench trial. And he was in and out in a couple of weeks and won his case. And seeing as the NFL has no criminal proof that anything happened, they would lose.
They will lose. Okay, so I'm looking up federal bench trial news and information, and I'm gonna see if I can just drop that in the Dropbox so that everybody can see what you are pretty much saying out there. Because I wasn't knowledgeable of that. I'm not knowledgeable of all laws, but it sounds like you're speaking on the right terms. If he can do that, and the lawyers and then everybody can see with their eyes of, hey man, this is something that needs to be corrected and completed, then of course, because he seems like he's been railroaded, with this whole scenario.
Yeah. Well, federal bench trials, they're not talked about much. The federal judges don't really like for that fact to be made public, or else they'd be swamped in them. The only reason I know about it is that I had a federal bench trial against the Veterans Administration. And I currently have terminal cancer because of them, and I had to have them come clean on it and admit to everything so they would at least pay the bills.
Oh, okay. So that's something that I believe that, like you said, that if Zeke goes the federal bench trial, that's meaning that it will force the NFL hands to submit the information out and have Tiffany to come forward and be under a quote unquote under oath, and then she will be able to and then they'll be able to cross-examine, because from what I'm hearing, that Zeke camp is not able to cross-examine the situation with the Tiffany trial, right?
Well, I'm not really too sure. All I do know is that the federal judge will look to see if any crime has been committed. And if there is no crime that has been committed, then they will exonerate Zeke and tell him to go back to playing, because the NFL does not have a case. And the NFL, no police department had a case. No district attorney's office had a case against him. And I just think it's a win-win thing for Zeke.
Right. Okay. I put the federal bench trial information up there on the top of the screen. Guys, feel free to use Google and look it up. But my guys, on point. Man, you're really on point with this information, whether or not the evidence are the same, whether they find the facts, the bench trial. What that does, it gives you, I guess, more longitude and latitude of the situation or the scenario. Now, the only thing that can happen, I didn't catch your name. What's your name? Hello?
If Zeke loses, they need to hang his lawyer.
They need to hang his lawyer. Okay. Hey, man, that's a good site, man. Good insight. Well, what's your name, fam?
Jay Deuce.
Jay. Man, good insight, man. Good information, man. I appreciate you putting this information out there on the ether so we can all see this information out there. You guys look up and Google federal bench trial, and you'll see, what this guy is lamenting that Zeke needs to do. And I really think that they probably go with that process if Harold Henderson don't pretty much throw this thing out. Now, only thing that I would settle for is probably one game. I'm not trying to be greedy or anything, but that's just what I see. Maybe a conduct unbecoming. You can just say one game, but outside of that, it should be no game. Realistically, this guy should fight for what he believes in, and he should have nothing else. Jay, anything else you want to say before we run?
I just this is my last season with the Cowboys. I just hope they win it all.
Man, yes, indeed, brother. We will win it all this year. We'll be hosting the Lombardi Trophy. Ezekiel Elliott will shake Roger Goodell's hand, and he will say, "Hey, brother, you got this wrong." And we will have our quest to 6 rings. Believe that. Salute,
there
my
you
brother.
go.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you for your time, sir.
10-4. Peace. All right, man. We got the who else we have on the line? We have the 832. So yeah, my guy Jay, he was spitting the fire. He putting us on game as far as the knowledge and stuff of things of that nature. I appreciate that. Before I jump to the 832, I'm gonna check out the chat box. Eric, salute to you. Gabriel, how about them Cowboys? Who that? Josh Minnie, 24. Jay Deuce, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Jay, him effing Deuce, yeah. Polygraph will work, yeah, that will work. God Imperial Almighty, Trump, God bless, Law Nation, thank you, man. Salute to you too as well. UCF Jag, what's up, Law Nation? Salute to you too as well. Trade Deal. Let me jump on the phone line and see what this brother, my brother from another mother, talking about from here. 832. 832, man.
What's up? This is Cholo 66 Chingon, and my opinion on the Zeke thing is saying Zeke is a saint. It's just like he's done some bad with the whole parade thing, the bar incident, but this they couldn't find no evidence and stuff. So why are they even having to do all this for him? Because I'm looking forward to play the Giants. And stuff. And if they are going to suspend him, just suspend him either 2 or 1, like you said.
Right. If they was going to suspend him, if I was the NFL, I would say, hey, you're the star running back of a polarizing team. We trying to have a clean image, and we don't want our name drag out throughout the mud. I meant to say. So what we're going to do here is we're going to slap this suspension on you, or even a fine, and say conduct unbecoming. We don't have to go into details of what it is. And hopefully that would just get his mind right together. Because, the pulling down of the showing the tatas, which was nice, nice tatas with the lady out there on the boat. You know what I mean? We all need to have a little bit, right? Those nice tatas, and him defended himself, quote unquote, supposedly or unsupposedly, however the scenario was with the bar. And hey, just because you get a speeding ticket or just because you run a red light doesn't mean that you are a criminal, but if you beat somebody to death or you beat somebody down, then that's a whole nother Pandora's box. And just think about this right here. If these broads out here, not gonna call all women broads, but if these ladies out here that just trying to grab attention and just want a guy as a boyfriend that plays for the NFL, all she got to do is say, hey, he hit me. You know what I mean? And run yourself into the door, trip and fall. These women can now do all types of things, to get players caught up because of the alleged abuse, give you 6 games, So don't you know how many money they can squeeze out of a guy?
And not to be racist, not to be prejudiced, it's usually, the white girls doing it too.
Well,
like,
yeah. I'm not going to go that route, but I'm going to say this right now. But, the sister's not going to do that. Sister's not going to say, hey, you squeeze my arm too tight. I'm going to the polo pose. I'm going to the police. And, the sisters out there, they're just not going to do that. 9 times out of 10.
You definitely know no Latina's going to freaking take that. She will.
No, they ain't going to do that. They got brothers and uncles that are going to come after you. You put their hands on them. But I'm not calling white women out here what you call that, gold diggers and things of that nature. Because gold diggers come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. But it is what it is. But the trend says, Yes, indeed, my brother, man. Thank you for calling in, man. Anything else you want to get off your mind?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gosh, I had it in there. I meant to tell you this on the last chat about the, I think it was the taco thing. Why don't they play him as D tackle instead of DN? Because I've noticed that if they play him at D tackle, he gets through the line faster and he can get to the quarterback faster. But in DN, he gets more stopped and stuff.
Well, during my little scouting review of Taco, he kind of reminds me of a David Irvin. He plays kind of like the 3-tech, but I didn't know that Taco have a little strength. He need to get his strength up. So maybe next year you can probably kick him into the inside. But as far as Taco playing to the inside now, this rookie year, you know, we will see. You know, now he could rush to the inside, although he's playing right end or deep or left end.
Yeah.
Maybe he can kick to the inside and rush from the inside. But when he playing against grown men, the first starters out there come week 1, although the Giants are suspect out there as far as the offensive line, it's just something that we have to wait and have reservations on until we see that.
Mm-hmm. And like another thing is about the Zeke thing. Like how you said, Zeke is pure muscle. Well, if he touch that woman, they'll show. They will show bruises and marks and stuff.
Yes, indeed.
But I mean, just look at Zeke. I'm going to take this from Raymond Orta. Shout out to Raymond Orta. He's really good on Facebook. He said, look at Zeke. The dude kind of looked like a chick. Do you think he's going to hurt a girl? This dude loves his dog and posts his Instagram pictures of his dog. I don't think a dude that does that would beat a woman.
Puppy love is something else, man. Hey, you know, I know you have dogs and things of that nature, but when a woman is mad at you, she's bad. She's mad, you know. That thing can go so many ways, you know. But I see what you're saying, you know. Anytime Zeke can run over Cam Chancellor and, you know, put him down, you already know what he would do if he was to hit that woman, you know. But we wasn't there. The only person that was there was her. I believe deep down in my heart, those bruises, those knuckles, if you look at the picture from her knuckles, that came from that fight, you know, when she fought the other chick, you know.
And I've heard that I think a doctor said that those were self-inflicting bruises, not by Zeke, by herself or something.
No doubt.
I've heard.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother. So anything else you want to get off your mind before I hit the chat box up? I'm gonna have to let you go, man. I think I lost you. But salute, man. Okay. That's my boy right there.
Oh, no.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
Yeah. I'll follow you on Instagram too. So.
Oh yeah, man. Hit me up on Instagram. I thank you for following me, man, for that. And I hit you back too as well. So that's what I'm talking about, brother. Yeah. So let me answer this question right here from my guy. How about them Cowboys? Salute to you, man. Thank you for calling in too as well, Charlo. He said, should the Cowboys trade or pick up TJ Ward, right? Close your eyes, guys. If you have TJ Ward on his team, it'll just be dynamic. It'd just be like putting it in a cheat code, because somebody like that who can get to one hash to the next, just explosive, take great angles, pursue, can cover, just have the range. Comes from a Super Bowl caliber team. He's one of those guys that you would like to see out there on the field. So, yeah, how about them Cowboys? I will go and grab TJ Ward. But if the Denver trying to get rid of him for cheap, then let them cut him and see whether or not he want to come to us for cheap. But that's what I have out there as far as my collective mind, my small thoughts. Let me answer a few more questions before I jump to 805 in the chat box. Say what you like. Ron Switz needs to get on the field. You're right. Needs to be on the field like 2 weeks ago. Barry Grogan went to training camp today, and the offense looks good out there. Rob Smith, they hired Ron Switch for week 1. I hope that's the scenario. Guy. Salute to 805 in the room. State your name, how long you've been following the channel, and what's good.
Hey, what's up, Law? My name's TC Sports Zone's my YouTube channel name, but my name's Tyler. I've been following your channel for about a year, and I, not just because you're a Cowboys fan, but I love your detailed breakdown videos you do of college and also professional. Mm-hmm. But questions. One, the Cleveland Browns said they're putting Joe Haden on the block. Would you try to do a trade with him? And then my second question for you is, suspended, let's say the full 6 games, and he doesn't get any relief from that, what do you believe our record will be without him?
With repeat that last sentence that you were stating.
Yeah, let's say Zeke is suspended for the last 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think our record will be without him?
Maybe Zeke would equate to probably 1 game. You'd probably be a -1 game without Zeke out there on the field, give or take. I think that the difference between Ezekiel Elliott rushing the ball and Darren McFadden was 18 inches. I think somebody broke that down on Pro Football Focus. The amount of carries of what McFadden can do opposed to Ezekiel Elliott. But 18 inches football is a game of inches. So Zeke is such a dynamic guy. The defense have to answer to him. They load the box. It just makes Dak do multiple reads down the field before he can get the ball out. A lot of one-on-one coverages. Now, as far as the quote-unquote Joe Haden, a lot of people saying that he's injury prone for one, right? But I think with that trade situation, the concessions with that will be that we will pick up the $11 million. So I don't think that that's a look that we're looking for as far as the Cowboys Nation picking up an older player with $11 million toe tag. Now, if they're willing to release the guy, then I'll jump all over that like a cheap suit. So, but Joe Haden, as far as this particular defense, quote unquote, he probably fits better than what he's doing out there in Cleveland because we play a lot of cover 2. He won't be exposed as much as to coming down and relying to tackle because we play a lot of zone 2 as well. So I think Joe Haden will fit this team, will fit the motif a whole lot better than what he's doing out there in Cleveland.
Yeah, plus he's good at knowing how to cover big superstar wideouts like AB and AJ Green, and then we have obviously Beckham and now Alshon Jeffrey in the division, so he has that experience, which would be good.
Mm-hmm. And then I think he held Dez Bryant last year to 16 yards or something like that, south of that, and 1 catch or something like that. I can't remember, but I think he did a pretty decent job against our guy Dez Bryant. So.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a cornerback that can do that right now. We have AB that's showing promising traits, but his commodity length or commodity, as we know, we only go back to his rookie year. So we don't know how he's going to transpire for this next year. So still, he's going to be playing. He's going to be playing against players that he never played before, like the Alshon Jeffersons of the world and some other players out there, some other cats. So we'll see. We will see. Any other questions, any thoughts on your mind? Plug your channel too as well. Don't forget that.
Oh, definitely, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think that's it, man. Thank you so much for taking my call.
No doubt, man. And where can they find you again, or are you good?
It's at TC Sports Zone. I do daily uploads for Cowboys and NFC East and football talk in general.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you for calling in to the nation, man. Salute to you and your family.
Likewise, man. Have a good night.
Peace.
Peace.
That's what I'm talking about right there, man. Guys calling in, talking about football, giving me some insights. Hey, TJ Ward and Joe Haden out there in the mix. You can just go ahead and pencil in the Super Bowl if both of them come on his team, but we know we're far, far away from that. So we have to work with the Jeff Heaths of the world and the Byron Jones, although they formidable enough. I want to see Byron Jones get deeper out there in cover 2. Cover 2, when you're playing cover 2 defense, you don't have to step up into the pocket that much, or into the box that much. You can just stay out there on the island and do your thing out there. Let me see what else we have in the chat box. Vince Rycon, what's up, player? Love your show. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling in. But this Zeke scenario, we're going to focus back in on Zeke appeal. The Tiffany situation with her, like I say, credibility counts for everything, right? And the moment you lose credibility, the moment you lie to the police officer, how can somebody say that everything else is the truth? So if I'm the NFL, all they had to do with their PR staff is say, hey, based on the evidence that came to us through Tiffany phone and through Ezekiel Elliott, although both guys seems like there's orange murky waters. Based on the evidence, we cannot go no further, and we just gonna just put this case out the window. But this is a fair warning for Ezekiel Elliott. Any other transgressions of anything near this subject, we're gonna have to suspend him for 6 games or 4 games, 2 games, etc. But that's what I would have did with the NFL, because at some point you're gonna have fan base mad, and at some point you're gonna have fan base happy. Right now, Giants fan base are happy with the situation. That's just how the bottom line goes. Right now, the Eagles are happy. The Redskins are happy. That's just how it is, man. Got a call in from the 252. Salute to you. Thank you for calling in. How long you been following the channel, man? What's good, man?
What's good with you, Law Nation?
Nothing to it, man. Just got to do it, brother.
Hey, I'm checking you out on YouTube, man, and everything that you talk about, I love, man. I'm a Stone Cowboy fan.
No doubt, man. I love
Tony Perry.
Who this is?
This is Tony Perry from North Carolina. Hey, I'm checking you out on YouTube, man, and everything that you talk about, I love, man. I'm a Stone Cowboy fan.
Yes, indeed, man. If you like it, I love it, man. If you love it, I like it, man. So what's on your mind?
Yeah, I was checking out the Ezekiel Elliott thing, and I just don't understand. It seems like whenever a football player get in some mess. Yeah, I was checking out the Ezekiel Elliott thing, and
man, hit a little echo, man. It's like a repeat going on. Maybe we lose a little connection. Maybe
it is. Like it's kind of a delay thing.
You probably had to turn the YouTube down a little bit. And are you calling me through your phone, or are you calling me through Google Voice?
Yeah,
you might have to turn your YouTube page down. I hear a little echo, brother. But you know how it is, man. Ezekiel Elliott might have been laying the wood tour. Let me just break it down to you what I think what happened. Ezekiel Elliott was dating this girl while he was still in high school, right? He was going through that trends. He going through that trends of moving to the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would probably, you know how it is, brother. You land the wood tour, it's all good, and then all of a sudden you finna get that paycheck. You finna move on to bigger and better things, right?
Exactly.
Flew her down to Miami. They celebrated down there, and then he just said, "Hey, baby, this is just a love relationship, right? I'm not finna commit to you all the way now. Although we sharing this crib, I'm not gonna give you the key, but you can come by as long as you want when I'm here." That's the scenario. That's what I'm painting in my head, right? We all been in high school. We all been in college, right? And when he just told her, "Look,
that's right.
You just keeping up this thing too much. I gotta move on." And then she said, "Look, brother, I can ruin your career. They gonna take my word over yours any day, 9 times out of 10.
Oh yeah.
That's when he should have just said, what?
But see, Law Nation, what I'm trying to say is, I'm hearing Stephen A. Smith talking about that he think that the suspension was okay. If the man didn't get with no evidence or anything, then how can you say that it's 6-game suspension is okay? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I evaluated Stephen A. Looks on the whole thing. I looked at what he said. He was talking about, I think it was like July the 17th, 18th, and 19th, something like that, between those 3 days, right? Now, he supposedly, Ezekiel Elliott supposedly did something to Tiffany. But my thing is this right here, what Stephen A. Smith failed to realize, and I got the dates off, it could have been July 18th, 19th, and 20th, whatever it may have been. If Ezekiel Elliott was beating her to near death, or he was domestically violent, or beating her down, or doing whatever he needs to do between the July the 17th, the July the 18th, and the 19th, why do she need to text her friend on the 23rd and say, "Hey, lie to the officers that Ezekiel Elliott been beating me"? You know what I mean? So why didn't she just say, "Well, I know I may be off a little bit on the dates, but they're just allegory at this point."
Yeah, go ahead.
Why would she need to lie on the 23rd? But when he was, I'm just gonna be real. If he was beating her ass on the 17th and 18th and 19th, that's how I look at it, But none of the media, the national media, nobody picked that up. Nobody picking up the fact that she got into a fight previously. Only person who mentioned it, salute to him, shout out to Shannon Sharp. He was the only guy. I've been watching all this stuff as it transpired. Shannon Sharp, although I don't agree with everything Shannon Sharp says, but he was the only guy. About Shannon, yeah, he was the only guy on the national media chain said that this young girl Tiffany had got into a fight, quote unquote, allegedly, with another bartender lady at a club or outside the club or outside the bar where they had to break up the fight. So my thing is here, those bruises on her don't look like they came from a man, you know. Just to be honest, man. If you look at Ezekiel Elliott's hand, his hand itself is just a huge hand. He's got 6 foot 232. You know, he ain't no little guy.
Yeah, he'll man now.
He'll full man at 21, 22. And this girl, looking at the picture, she looks like she about 125 pounds, give or take, might be less, you know. and them bruises just don't look like. Now I can understand the previous years with the Greg Hardy situation, with the I'm throwing the chick on the guns, and they threw out the fact. I really read the Greg Hardy situation. Greg Hardy could have been in the same scenario, whereas this lady, and I'm not trying to throw, I know a lot of people gonna be mad at the show and all this stuff, but let's just call out facts. This lady was high on that crack cocaine type of stuff, you know, and that was in the police report, and they kind of swept that off the rug, you know. They swept that under the rug to save her. So it's so many small elements, because at the end of the day, I know when I was in high school, I kid you not to throw my stuff out there, but I was dating this chick, and she had somehow got in my car. I'm trying to get in my car, and she was just sitting in the passenger seat saying, well, baby, what you trying to do? You trying to leave me? I'm not leaving, you know. And I said, well, baby, it's over with. You know what I mean? I had to call the police. You know what I mean? I can only imagine if I just get in the car and just try to get her out of there, you know. So when you're handling your business out there with these ladies, sometimes they fall in love with it and they don't want to see you go. Now, I wasn't gonna get $1 million paycheck, you know. Right. So what else, man? What else you got on your mind, brother? I think it's the case, Law. Yeah. What else on your mind, brother?
Yeah. And the other thing, it seems like to me like that the Cowboys do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, they just put it in as negative vibes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And especially when they talk about Jerry Jones, you know, he's running things and this and that and this and that. And I'm like, man, Jerry got guys like Will McClay, Steven, he listened to. You know, and I just can't get with that, man. I just can't get with them haters sometimes. I mean, I'm like, really?
No doubt, man. Sure. At this point, man, it's just one of those scenarios, man, where we just gonna have to see how this thing all boils out, man, at the end of the day.
Yep.
Yes.
And Law, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know people trying to call in and everything. Mm-hmm. But hey, I love your show.
Appreciate it.
And I listen to it all the time. And like I said, hey, Cowboys for life, baby.
No doubt, man. Salute, man. You want to plug your channel, or you just want to just say, hey, Cowboys for life? What's up?
Hey, I'm gonna plug my channel. I'm gonna do all I need to do to keep up with you, man. And I was liking the way you got your number up here, where you can call in and everything. We're gonna keep up. We're gonna get it right.
Yes, indeed, man. I thank you, man, for calling in, and salute to you and your family. All right, I'm going to read the chat box, man, and we're going to see what else we got, and then I'm going to pick up this next call. But appreciate you, brother, for calling in to the nation.
All right, Law. Appreciate you.
Salute. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Let me see what's going on in the box, and then I'm going to pick up this other call from the 407 and a few. All right, I've got Yvette Williams, Harry Salzier, having a good complex where they hurt him in the long run, who else we got? Chris Ojeda Brooks will be a good fit. Who's Brooks? Ahmad Brooks from Marcus Medina. Yeah, Ahmad Brooks will fit hell of fire good in this particular setting. So I really think that he will fit good in this particular offensive or defensive setting. Vince, you're right, bro. Love the Law Nation. Thank you, man, for saluting to the Law Nation. How about them Cowboys? Says Shannon Sharp and Joy Taylor. are greater than Skip Bayless on Undisputed. Undisputed. Yeah, they are, man. Shannon Sharp is on point. I just wish he can just be a little bit, I digress. But let's turn to the 407. Got the 407 in the house. How long you been following the channel and what's been going on?
What's up, Law Nation? It's my Cowboys family calling back second day in a row.
2 days in a row. My brother from another mother, man. What's going on? What's on your mind with this Ezekiel Elliott situation? What are your thoughts?
Well, with the Zeke part, I mean, again, we've been doing like a daily thing on Zeke. It's almost like so done that, it's kind of just a sit and wait kind of situation when it comes to, he was under oath today in the court there, with something that the NFL didn't do with anybody. Just took police reports that were, either sworn in, and most of those sworn testimonies were from, people that that actually saw the Tiffany Thompson fight. They didn't see any bruises on Tiffany Thompson before that night. So these are all affidavits, sworn testimonies. I don't see how they could have just taken the feeling that she got beaten by Zeke just based on their thoughts. So that's just kind of disturbing on the Zeke part. I think the NFL though is gonna keep the 6 games. Unfortunately, he's gonna take this to injunction. And an emergency injunction, so that maybe they can put a stay on it like they did with Tom Brady, and then maybe he'll be able to play at least this year until they review the case and see if there's any violations, not by Zeke and Tiffany Thompson necessarily. It's more of Zeke versus the NFL, or if the NFL did any wrongdoing. That's why they got Tom Brady that stay, which is rare to happen to any NFL player. But I think that the guy advising Zeke, one of his advisors in the team today, worked with Tom Brady and actually had our Tom Brady take the stand 2 years ago in the same kind of context as well. With Zeke taking the stand today and swearing it under oath like Tom Brady did, which then in turn might take it to, might get them that stay, whatever the angle they're trying to go with. It seems they're trying to work it in that way. So, I mean, that's at least a good sign, but I really expect the NFL to keep this at 6 games for now, and we'll see what happens. I had a different kind of question. I don't mean to derail the topic, but I'm putting together a 53, right? On Friday, we have a little special coming out on our channel, and we're going to really discuss in depth on a live stream about the 53 players that we think is going to make the team, including the suspensions and the injury players. As you saw last night, I don't know if you guys saw that, Rico Gathers posted he's going to be back soon on Twitter, literally like an hour after we got off this here. So that was one of my questions last night, and I'm glad to see that it looks like he's going to be making his way back and not being on any kind of injured list. But my question is, taking everything into consideration, suspensions are definite as of right now. Looks like I got everybody that I think is going to make this team, except for, and this is my question. I have Lewis Neal, number 66, defensive end, and Robert Blanton. They're like on the bubble in my mind, and I was curious. Do you think they're like on the outside looking in? Do you think that someone like Lewis Neal would slip through the waivers to us and we get him in the practice squad, or and again, this is not with keeping Kellen Moore and Cooper Rush. This is with keeping Alfred Morris. This is with keeping all 4 tight ends. This is keeping Noah Brown. This is keeping a couple extra linemen, offensive linemen. So I'm just throwing into actually even keeping Mark Mazacha and Marquez White. So I'm just saying, throwing all these names out. These are guys making the team, and I have Robert Blanton and Lewis Neal on the outside. Your thoughts, sir? I'll let you talk about it. Much love, Law Nation, and anybody out there, come follow my Cowboys family as well. We do daily stuff, live streams, game day stuff, all good. It's all about the Cowboys. So for now and forever, bro. Go Cowboys.
No doubt, man. I love that, man. Guys, go out and follow my Cowboys family, man. They post every day. They got the information out there. They answer your questions when you submit that out to them. The thing is, collectively on number 66, Lewis Neal, he's not going to clear waivers. He showed too much promise. He's not going to get by the interdivisional guys. Redskins always pick up our guys for some reason. They like our defensive guys, so I don't think he will clear waivers at all. Now, Robert Blanton, I heard some people, I think on one of the channels earlier today, that said that he's a good special teams guy. Now, as far as him out there on the field, right, I think he wears number 36. You see him out there on the field, just know that teams are going to attack him because he kind of get lost in space, take bad angles, not that fast out there on the field. But as far as special team, he just plays a good sound on that aspect. So him making the team, I would rather for us to shop around and see who's going to be released. We hear in the footsteps of a lot of teams trying to clear up some cap space on the defensive side, like the the TJ Wards of the worlds and the Joe Hadens of the worlds. Those guys out there that teams trying to get rid of or trying to save face with the salary cap is a plus. So knowing that will be the fact that maybe they own a bubble on their collective teams, and maybe they're going to be released when the team had to trim down to 53 roster. So
yeah,
with that in the bubble, with the Rico Gather situation, I don't know whether or not he's going to be active. I don't know whether or not, even if we try to push for Louis Neal, number 66, he will be active, because there's only 46 guys that can be active. That's the hardest puzzle to curate on your 53-man roster. Although you got 53, there's only 46 that can play. So where do we need the most help at? Defense.
Thing here, I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm saying on our team.
We got so many players right now. Yeah.
Right. We need help on defense regardless of the scenario. So even with us going with 3 quarterbacks is a must. Is a negative in my mind. There's a negative for us going with 3 quarterbacks. We need to step up to
more,
the
in
plate.
my opinion. Mm-hmm. We know the monster he is. We don't. Cooper Rush has only upside. But he's still is he too young for a backup? That's a trade bait. That people are talking about that as well. I don't want to get into that really as much. But my point is that obviously the inactive, we'll have one of the 2 backups on the inactive every week. We'll have of course, like I said, Rico will probably be inactive the first week with Jordan Lewis. So them being inactive in the beginning, I think actually it's gonna be easier to figure out the inactives. But I'm thinking about the 53 in the sense of, like, I have gathers and not in that, on the 53, not on injured, and that's all these numbers. And I was looking at and moving things around and just trying to see, like, for instance, who do you think would clear waivers? I mean, linemen are taking really quick, the offensive linemen, usually quarterbacks as well. So can't release Noah Brown. We're not going to release Hannah or Swain. I don't see that happening. I mean, probably try to trade Morris if anything. We're not releasing any of the backs other than Hillman. And when I'm looking around, our defensive line, ends and tackles, we got 5 each in each spot there. So a good rotation. We got, again, Nasacha is the only one I can see cutting, replacing, let's say, Louis Neal in Mark Nasacha's spot. I don't think he's worth keeping. But we don't have depth at linebacker, and that's our issue. And, that's one of our issues, I should say. And then, so you got Blanton, you can sneak him in somehow, get somebody else going to fall through waivers. I don't know, but it's just a big jumble, puzzle right now, just for this first cut coming on Saturday. So, I appreciate your insight. It's a lot of good stuff. And, we're going to continue to work on this to come up with something for Friday. And, join us there too, Law, and, give us your 2 cents. I definitely be interested to see what you have to say and your opinions on things. So much love this.
No doubt. It's going to be, what it's going to feel like, my Cowboys family, before you run? Saturday is going to feel like a holiday for us, right? Those who like to scout and those who like to do previews of games and things of that nature. Because it's going to be like free agency spirit all over again. Because what I'm going to look for is the teams that picked up these rookies, right? And the teams that need to get rid of some of these veteran guys that can help us out. So I can't wait till this weekend. If it's Saturday, right? It's going to be this Saturday that they're going to release the players.
Saturday, yes, sir.
Do you know what time?
It's usually midday. I'd say like between 2 and 4 in the afternoon. Usually that's like the cut, and you'll start hearing names trickled out beforehand in the morning, and then you'll see it throughout the day. Some of them cut early, start cutting the players in groups. But yeah, they used to do it in like 3 different, like every other week they would be doing cuts. There'll be a cut down. This year is just 1 cut down, all 90 to 53 basically. But like I was saying, we have 4 suspended guys and an injured guy. So that opens up 4 more spots. So you gotta look at our roster saying 57. And then if you look at Zeke, whatever happens with that, 58. I have 59 total right now. And again, like you said, though, definitely a good sign is, when free agency hits, and not free agency, it's like free agency, but when those cuts come out, it's like a whole new crop of players that we can mull over, and then maybe see one with the best price, with the best fit for the depth in our team. And then we can kind of maybe release another guy or 2 to then pick up the slack where we're picking up, any free agents. So, yeah, definitely that's another episode. There's another show.
It's a whole another show. 1,187 guys, 84 guys are going to be out there. So I can't wait to Saturday, my friend.
It's exciting, bro.
Hey, man, before you run again, just plug your channel again and so that everybody can hear.
Yeah, man. Everyone, whoever's out there, you got a big group here. Love this channel. And again, all Cowboy Nation come together. But my Cowboys family, we do a different kind of experience where we have myself, who I know a lot about the Cowboys and a fan since I was 5. So my whole life in a Cowboy fan, been to 3-13 and 1-15, all those horrible years, and the Super Bowl is the 3, out of 4 years. But my fiance, who, we've been together for over 4 years, she's become a big time Cowboy fan, and another one to add to Cowboy Nation. My daughter has become old enough now to really understand that she played flag football and played quarterback. She really understands football. My fiance's son also, has played flag football. He's been a beast out there like Zeke. Throwing all that stuff out there, guys. We just do like a family-friendly type of thing, but reactions and commentary and updates every day, and game days for sure. So, check us out. If you haven't already, guys, subscribe. Hit the notifications, because we do usually do a live stream every day, once a day for about an hour. And as always, man, go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys, man. Fantastic, man. Good plug. Hey, guys, you guys go follow his page, man. Guys got good content. All together, collectively, guys. Going back to Ezekiel Elliott's suspension, his appeal and things of that nature, whether or not he's going to get released from this situation, not released from the team, but released from the suspension. I was looking back and just harking back at the Tom Brady situation. If you look at the case collectively, he won the case basically, because his suspension is supposed to be, his scenario should be only a $25,000 fine. But the NFL tried to suspend him, and he took it up to the highest courts. They try to do everything they could find out there, like pages and pages of documents, but they found themselves one window of opportunity. And that one window of opportunity were grounds on them to suspending Tom Brady for the 4 games. And that one string of evidence had nothing to do with footballs. It had the fact to do with Tom Brady destroyed his phone. So they said that he interfered with the investigation. So this kind of like a witch hunt. I'm not a fan of Tom Brady. We all know that due to the other transgression that happened with the Tom Brady situation with the football and with the before then the spy gates and the other that before then the whole other stuff that the Patriots, or I call them the Cheecherites, or whatever you want to call them, they did a lot of things to finagle their way to a win. And it just added on to the extra pressure of the Tom Brady's of the world and the Patriots being cheaters. But at a glass prism, if you look at everything collectively, they never suspended him for the deflation or the overinflation of footballs. They suspended Tom Brady because he didn't give over his phone, or he deleted his information, or destroyed his phone. So if you try to compare that to Ezekiel Elliott, what other information that they can get Ezekiel Elliott for? They can always say, hey, he was hiding evidence through his phone. They can always throw that out there. They can always make up something. But collectively, I don't think that this guy should be suspended for 6 games at the end of the day. All right, chat box, I got Orlando in the house. We need to be beast pass rushers. Yeah, we need 2 beast pass rushers. We need to figure out something, but I think Demontre Moore is that guy. Vincent Mayowa, don't sleep on him. Chalo, Law Nations, can you give my Twitter and IG shout out? Yeah, man, go follow his IG and Twitter. Just put the link in the box and I'll just submit it out to the masses and I'll say it. Just don't have it pulled up right now. I think Jalen is a big help. This is from Antonio Brinko. Yeah, he'll be a big help out there. Yes, indeed. Sherman over Haden. Yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, Sherman all day over Haden. Sherman is a better Haden. He stays on the field. So if you're looking at that in its whole self, we will always lean towards Sherman. Why trade the retrades? Yeah, retreads. I think that's from Say What You Like. I don't know what the previous conversation, what you guys were talking about in the chat box. But yeah, Zeke in the second round. You guys talking about fantasy? I don't know what you guys talking about out there, right? But collectively, what I feel with Ezekiel Elliott out there on the field is that this team is a +1 or 2 when he is out there on the field because of his tenacity, what he brings to the team. Now, will we be able to still win against the Giants? Yes. I think that their offense won't be able to move the ball down the field like they think, even though they got the power. I don't think they got their offensive line. They're going to be one-dimensional. And I love to see my guy, Eli Manning, passing the ball to us, because when he's one-dimensional and we already know he's finna pass the ball, it's over with. The time that the Giants won the Super Bowl, because they had this power and thunder and lighting with the running back situation. I just don't see that now. I don't see them foregoing up and down the field. Now the defense looks pretty decent enough, and then one can argue and say, well, the defense is top, but outside of that, I just don't really see anything else out there. Let me see who else we have in the box. We have 407 in the house. 407. What's up?
How you doing, Law?
What's going on, man? Talk to me.
What's going on? My name is Aaron. I've been following. I think you're one of the best out there. I appreciate watching you.
Thank you so much, man. What's on your mind? What's on your thoughts with Ezekiel Elliott or with the Cowboys defense or what the Cowboys going to do this year? What is on your mind?
Well, I have two questions. My first question is, I think Zach Martin's going to be signed, let's say, within a couple weeks. Probably going to get done. If it was up to you, would you allocate the cap in the first 2 years? Since we have that, choice. It's been a while since we had some room. But would you allocate the cap? Would you front load the cap, or would you push it down the road? That's probably my first question.
Well, I would go with the philosophy of however we did with Tyron Smith. I know that we'd probably eventually get bitten, and then you know what with that. But I can gamble with Zach because Zach is not like the Doug Freeze of the world. I think that he's been healthy. I think that he's been he deserved to be one of the highest paid guards in the league. So I'll just go ahead and push it out as further as I can, and I won't make it too much top heavy. And I just spread this thing out and say, hey, you're a lifer. You're gonna retire a Cowboy. That's how I look at it.
Definitely. I get what you're saying. So you kind of hope out and give an option to play free agency the next year.
No. Not play for free agency. I would extend him, but I would give him a Tyron Smith type of deal. It's going to be one of those long deals, like 8 to 9 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely going to happen. But I'm just saying, you can put the guaranteed money up front, or you can push it down toward the end. Because right now they have, with Dak's contract, we have that luxury of kind of like loading the guaranteed money up front, or you had more space down the road. You get what I'm saying? Right.
But the problem with that is that you want to do what's right with Zach. I do know that they all want the guarantees up front, but that's when you kind of finagle it a little way, whereas you can create an escape clause for yourself, and you just have him to sign his nice, lovely. When you do the extension, have him to sign the nice, lovely signing bonus, and that would equate to quote unquote some of the portions of the guaranteed salary, and then you just spread it out through the life of the contract. Kind of is gonna his contract should be similar to Tyron Smith, in my opinion. The only person now I'm kind of weary of Tyron Smith contract because of his back situation, but I still just go with that Tyron Smith type of contract again.
I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What was the second question?
With the Ezekiel Elliott question in terms of the time frame, if you decide to take this to court, I guess would you happen to have an idea in terms of the time frame, of how things would go? Because that can play a part in the decision making process in terms of when to come up with a decision in the courts.
Well, this is the thing. When you are taking a case to court like that, a lot of times the court would like to know what's all in the discovery, what all transpired. But the problem is the NFL has a quote unquote an escape clause, just like they did with Tom Brady. We looked at everything. Tom Brady actually won the case, right? But the problem was that they said that he destroyed the evidence on the phone. Whereas they didn't get him for the deflate gate or whatever, the deflation of the football. They got him for destroying the evidence on the phone. So the NFL got Article 46, I guess, page 10 or what have you. And that escape clause would be that his conduct was still unbecoming. He's just too much in the headlines, although we never said he was suspended for domestic violence. That is what the national media is putting out there. We said, the NFL said we suspended him for conduct unbecoming. We suspended this guy not for domestic violence, but quote unquote, that's what they suspended him for. You know what I mean? They crafty enough, they smart enough to never say, the NFL never said that we suspended Ezekiel Elliott for domestic violence, but the national media, the ESPNs and the Fox and the Sports Center all are saying domestic violence, and the NFL saying, okay, you guys can run with that, but we saying that we suspended this guy for conduct unbecoming or personal conduct. And you know, we all know that that's quote unquote domestic violence. That's their white horse in the whole situation.
Right. So you think you have the favor with the courts in terms of appearing it like it's domestic violence, because there's no. I mean, the only thing they can legally kind of say is a thing with the St. Patrick's Day, but I don't. They can the Elliott team can say this is totally 100% fabricated, and it's just a delusion in terms of. And I mean, that's what makes this different from Tom Brady. He's not hiding anything, right? He's not disguising anything. He's being upfront.
Yeah, but the NFL has so much unfactual information with the metadata with the pictures. They can say that he tried to delete. They can just fabricate anything they want and submit that to the courts, and the courts can be like, okay, we, according to Article 46 in the CBA agreement, the commissioner, judge, jury, and executioner, and according to the bylaws that you guys have submitted, we're gonna have to rule in favor of the NFL. Now, what Ezekiel Elliott can do is drag this thing out, and then all this is going to do is sell it the shield and damage the interpretation or what the shield represents. And then he can have this in his pocket. He can say, well, the NFL has taken my right to earn money, that's going to be wrongful. It's not wrongful death or wrongful. It can be falling that the category of defamation of character, basically. He can say that they drug my good name through the media. I never laid my hands on it. And these people in the media, national media, are saying that I had domestic violence, which is never the case nor the scenario, you know. And then he can go with I had a caller earlier said a federal bench trial. You know, he can request that.
Right.
And with that, I was reading, just glancing over, with the federal bench trial, he can submit the evidence to the federal judge, and that will force the NFL hand to submit their evidence, and it will force pretty much Tiffany Thompson to appear in court, and it can just be sloppy from there. It'd just be a big, massive mudsling, you know, to clear his good name.
Right.
It would be worth it, you know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just understanding that. I have a question about the time frame. Like, what is this? Would this play out during the season? Would this play out after the season? Because that's a huge factor. If you suspended, let's say, during the season, like, you know, he kind of played, you know, started with the Giants, and he kind of played during the season. Then in the middle of the season, if he lost the case, that would be kind of damaging to the Cowboys.
Well, in this scenario, it's a good question. In this scenario, the Cowboys are going to hold their image pretty well. The foolishness of the part of it is going to look like it's going to be on the NFL, because they're going to have to drag this out. If Ezekiel Elliott says he's going to fight this thing all the way out to the death of it, then it's going to drag all the way throughout the season. And the worst case scenario for us is for the ruling to come about in December, and we trying to get ready for the playoffs, and they said, well, we're going to suspend him for these 6 games now. You know, it's going to be now. You know, it's not going to be next year or what have you. And it can drag all the way out through there. But if I'm Zeke,
that's
I'm just fighting this thing all the way through, you know. But the NFL is just stubborn enough to keep fighting this thing out, and they're never going to just say, hey, you know, this water just too muddy. We're just going to fold our hands up, and we're going to keep an eye on Zeke, and if anything else happens, we're going to suspend him for 2 to 3 games. But outside of that, we just don't have enough evidence, you know. That's what I would have did if I was the NFL. I would have made that statement, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess. That's all we can agree on.
So what else you have on your mind, man? I know I'm kind of long-winded on this questions, but we need to get that information out so that people can understand that this is a fight that Ezekiel Elliott must fight. He must not lay down. He must continue to save his good name.
Absolutely. Those are all the questions I have right now. I mean, I'm your age. I was born in '84. I'm a long-suffering fan. Not as long-suffering Laker fan. But yeah, Cowboys. It's been a while, and I remember being a kid when I saw them beat the Steelers, Super Bowl 30, and it's been a long drought, and hopefully it'll end within a couple of years.
Yeah, it was fantastic to live through the 90s and watch every single the last three Super Bowls to be won, you know, and it was just fantastic to be alive and be around and to see those things. So hopefully we can see 3 more or 4 more or 5 more, right?
Yeah, this guy is special. Dak is real special, and we're lucky to get him. Diamond in the rough.
To know that we passed the this guy so many times, you know. Hey, blessing comes in a disguise, right?
Exactly. And when Cowboys win, it's good for the NFL overall. I think it helps market their name. Look how much people talk about the Cowboys when they're just recently good right now, but they haven't been that good. So imagine if they start winning.
Right, and the NFL just hate to admit it, you know, but it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to you, man. Anything else you want to say before we run?
No, that was all. So thanks so much for your time, and I'll definitely call back, and good luck with everything.
Thanks for calling into the nation, man. Salute. Go Cowboys. Yeah. All right, guys, that was good, man. It was a good call. Let me read the conversations in the chat box before I run. Excuse me, I'm trying to battle this cold, but J Mac got it. Yeah, salute to you, Wayner. That's a funny name, man. Wayner. Glad I caught this law. Appreciate it, man. Vince, shout out to you, my Cowboys family. Go and subscribe to this man channel. David Pence, up late night with Law Nation on the station, trying to be nothing but the best, right? 7. I think that's how you say your name. I think Adele will suspend Zeke. Whatever comes, it's the same like Brady case. It does, man. It just don't have a lot of information out there with the Ezekiel Elliott versus Brady, but it's just the same. It's the same song and dance. The NFL don't know how to clear their ways with this situation. Yeah, shout out to all of the Latinos out there too as well. I got Cello 66. It's an Arnold nickname, Wayner. Yes, indeed, man. Nice nickname. I think that's mine, Jay Beyond. What's up, Law? Shout out to you. Keep Woods over Heath easy. But Woods, we need to see him out there on the field. The last time we saw him was against the Ravens game, the Rams game. So Woods needs to be out there. Anything else before I get ready to close this thing down? Let me see how long I've been doing this. Been going on for 1 hour and 14 minutes, about 67 people in the chat room altogether. I really appreciate you guys tuning in to the Law Nations, calling in, giving you guys giving me your inputs, your thoughts, your pressure out there, your mind, your skills and things of that nature. I really appreciate you guys putting in the hard work, reaching out to me. I can't wait for the season to come about. Got a lot of things in store and planned for you guys out there for the Cowboys Nation as far as information. I'm going to try to do things daily, guys. I'm trying, although I'm packing, getting everything up together to move out to Dallas. You guys know I'm in the transition stage, so got a lot of boxes in the house. Trying to close on the house too as well. And you guys who are homeowners out there, you know how that is, you know. You got to submit this paperwork. You got to scrub this paperwork. You got to go through this inspection. So the house looking good, guys. Got me a game room. Don't have a necessary man cave, but I got a big game room. Thinking about putting a 75 or 80-inch TV in there. And you guys going to see it hopefully rolling out through this year. Going to have it's a 4-bedroom home with 2.5 baths. So I'm going to figure out a way to make one of the bedrooms a studio. I've been always cringing to have a studio. So it's going to have the full 9. I might just do it live so you guys can see all of the materials I put in together, like the mic, the stand, the type of computer I'm using, a Lenovo with 2 terabytes of data. I'm gonna have the type of camera I'm having that they put out there. I'm looking for a 4K camera. I ordered one. I had to take it back because it was the lens of it that had broken or damaged, so I took that 4K camera back. Now I just have a 1080p camera. As you guys can see, it's a 1080p from Logitech. They are one of my sponsors. They sponsor me, and Camtasia sponsor me too as well for all of the shows that I submit and put out here to the massive. So you guys go and buy Logitech stuff, and you guys go out and buy Camtasia stuff too as well. The converter box that I have is a Solo 2, so that too as well is the converter box, so that you guys are able to hear the Law Nation voice pumping through this mic to your guys' lovely ears out there. All together collectively, the Cowboys gonna do pretty well out here. Moving does suck, David. Moving sunk, so I had to do the comparison analysis whether or not I jump into a U-Haul or do I do a pod. I'm just gonna pod that thing up, man. I'm just gonna load up everything in a pod, and they're gonna take it to where it needs to go. That's crazy though. But I just want to be able to tell you guys, it's free Zeke. You guys tweet this out to Zeke, free Zeke, because Law Nation says so. And pretty much so, man. We're gonna just get back to this. Hopefully, I can just do another show for another about an hour tomorrow too as well. Let me just do a quick shout out to everybody in the box. David, salute to you. How about them Cowboys? Salute everybody who called, all those who support the channel via Patreon, TC Sports Zone. Hey, can you give me a channel shout out? Yeah, man, guys, go follow his page. He got good content. I believe he's putting it out there. Jay Deuce, my ESPN, free Zeke, Mr. ESPN. Put that out to the masses. Tell ESPN that Stephen A. Smith, he blows. Mr. ESPN, go tweet him that. But you guys know how it is, man. That's been my time. I really thank you guys for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Luke, I'm out. Peace. I'm out here, man. Shango Live, go follow him too as well. Where is that? If I can find that off button, there we go. There he goes. And you are listening to the Law Nation Live channel. I'm out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.